Welcome back to my channel. So today's topic is health, safety and environment. It is also called as HSE. So let me give you an insight on what is HSE and its scope and job prospects for biotechnology graduates. So the World Health Organization, everyone knows about this. So according to the World Health Organization, almost 2 million people are dying from work-related cases every year. Okay, so based on the work-related accidents and hazards that are happening, approximately 2 million people are dying every year. So this accounts to the occupational hazards in the industry and in the various workplaces, and definitely these hazards has to be reduced. So to reduce these hazards in this industries and other places, the scope of HSE comes into picture. So HSE, that is health, safety and environment. So health of the personnel, safety of the personnel and even the industry, and the impacts of this industrial venture on the environment, how to reduce this, all that work will be done by this HSE people who are working in this field. So they will be concentrating on various hazards, whether it is anything to do with chemical hazards, anything to do with biological hazards or any other hazards. Even it can be even physical hazards. So if there is any hazard that can happen because of the physical work in the industry, there might be short-term risks like injuries, there might be long-term risks like continuous exposure to some chemical agent might even lead to cases like cancer in later stages. So all this, wherever hazard is there, this HSE comes into picture, where they learn about this hazards, how to analyze it, how to see to it that it can be nullified. So this basic work will be done by the HSE officers and HSE department. So as I told you, it is a set of processes and procedures. So a lot of procedures will be followed. Detailed protocols will be given, like how to manage it, how to see to it that the hazards can be controlled, and how it can have a negative or less impact on the environment. So in this way, how to reduce the pollution. So in various ways, how you can try to have a sustainable system for work, that will be dealt in the HSE. So they will see to it that they prevent the hazards and accidents, and in case any hazard or accident happens, how to mitigate this, how to remediate this. So these kind of issues will be handled by this department. So HSE, definitely there are a lot of good opportunities here in this particular area. So if you're planning to go into this field of HSE, that is health, safety and environment, then if you're planning to work in Europe or Middle East, then definitely you have to have the certification course from NEBOSH. Okay, so it is a certification course on HSE which might be required if you're planning to work in Europe and Middle East for this HSE related posts. But in case you are planning to work with HSE in India, then NEBOSH may not be that useful. You may have to do certain small diploma courses in HSE from India. And basically the roles and responsibilities of these people are identifying the workplace hazards, reducing the accidents, training the personnel. This is also very, very important. Just having something and not knowing how to utilize it also is of no use. So training the people so that in case there is any hazard, how they can take action, how they can take remediation steps. So that will be very important. Accident response, emergency preparedness, all these are some of the roles and responsibility of these people. So not only that, they help in reducing the company's carbon footprint. So that is also a good point. It can reduce the global warming. They also have been involved in the SWOT analysis, that is the strength, weakness, opportunity, threats of the industry. The audits and inspections, all these they will be in charge. And even the policy enforcement, like what kind of policies are in place and how they can see to it that they are within having their limits and they do not exceed the standard, so that the company may have issues. So those things they will be handling. So this health hazards, it can happen in any place. So it can happen even in IT industry. So even IT industries will have their HSE departments, and in this HSE departments also you can try to get into. So basically we know even in IT industries there are a lot of health hazards that people can have. So some of this I've highlighted here, like there can be mental health issues, there can be obesity problems because they are continuously sitting in front of a PC from day to night, and blood pressure and other eye strain, depression, neck pain. So there are a lot of issues that are coming up even in IT industry. So there, this department will be very into telling them what precautions they need to take, what postures they need to set. So all those detailing will be told by this department, and they will see to it that how they can reduce their or manage their e-waste within the industry. So all that will be dealt by this department. And not only that, various other green initiatives which can be taken in the industry, so that they can apply for carbon credits or they can apply for any other things. So that also will be taken care by this department. So small changes can help. So apart from that, small lifestyle changes like trying to have certain swimming or cycling or running, whatever excites you. So see to it that you do not sit continuously doing same job. Take breaks in between. That will only help you in reducing this kind of neck pain and other issues. So why safety is important? Safety is very important for work, and when it comes to workplace safety, that is the most important thing, because if there is certain times there are hazards, it can even lead to deaths. So there are a lot of deaths happening in industries because of these kind of hazards. So there is more and more scope coming up for this HSE so that this hazard related deaths can be reduced. So now let me tell you a case study by which you will understand why safety is very important and why the role of this HSE is very important. So there was a marine company which was there, and they had their storage tanks for oil, that is the barge tanks, and there was a surveyor who had to inspect that particular tank. Okay, so he had to contact the maintenance superintendent, and he had to discuss with them and then go ahead with the procedures. So what happened is he visited the previous day and he told that the lid of this barge tank should be opened so that there will be proper ventilation, so that next day when he comes for inspection there is no issues. So that was right. He told it and he went. But what happened is they did not remove this lid, and they did it only on the second day, and he was about to arrive. That time only they did this, and they didn't inform that to him that it was done on the second day. He thought that as he told they had done on the first day, and he thought that he will do the inspection of the oil barge tank. So before going for the inspection, he was supposed to meet the superintendent, but he tried to search the superintendent. He did not find him. So he just thought he will continue with the inspection, and he headed towards the tank and he went inside. So what happened is, after some time, when these people came to know that he's not around, the survey is missing, they started searching for him. And once they started searching for him, they couldn't find him anywhere. And then finally, when they checked, he was inside the tank. He was fallen and he was dead. He was in the death condition. He was already dead actually. So that took a lot of time for them to actually come to the site and see that he was there. But definitely, if they had done proper communication and other issues were not there, this incident would not happen. He was just a surveyor who was given the task of just checking the levels of various things within the oil tank, but this simple negligence led to his death. So that is why you will understand why this is very important, this HSE and its requirement. So this is just to show you the levels of various parameters. So you can see the oxygen level in the system was just 10%, and you know when the oxygen level is too low like this, you are supposed to use certain equipments which will give you oxygen supply. So he didn't have anything of that. Still he went inside because he had not done this gas testing. So this is one important thing when you're going into this confined spaces like oil barges. You should know that before you enter into this place, you're supposed to do a gas testing, which will give you the display of various parameters, and then you can decide whether oxygen cylinder is required or something is required. So this was not done. So this is the negative side of it, which they have not done, which has led to this death. So what went wrong? Definitely insufficient planning, no proper communication. And there is something called as the entry procedures where they check the gas limits and then only enter. That was also not done. Gas testing was not done. And they are supposed to put the entry permit in front of this badge. So there will be an entry permit where there will be certain places where some people are supposed to sign that they have done the testing and it is safe to get inside. So such kind of entry permit also was missing. Still he went inside, and there was no emergency plan which was there, because something like this happens, they have to have an emergency plan very ready, and once something happens like this, immediately they have to get into the site and see to it that the death would not happen. But they did not have their emergency plan ready, because of which this death happened. So what did they learn from this? Definitely risk assessment is very, very important. Warning signs should be put in front of these places, and they have to check if their entry permit is there and it is properly signed, so that there is no issues. Communication should be there to check if they have opened the lid previous day itself. All that can be done. And definitely they should have an attendant outside. So in case that surveyor was supposed to go inside, they could keep a person outside to inspect, and if any issues were there, he should have informed the other person at the top, and there should be a LRAM system where he can give the LRAM to the system, so that finally the emergency team could come into and rescue the person. But that was not done. So this is why this is very, very important, and this people who are involved in HSE will be involved in all this work. So there's a lot of scope in this area. So there has more scope for men in compared to lady candidates, but even in IT departments and all, there is HSE department. There again ladies can work. So coming to the job prospects of EHS, it is really having very wide scope for the applications. So you can get into industries, you can get into IT firms, you can get into construction industries. Not only that, you can get into marine industries, oil rig kind of companies. Not only that, you can even get into pharma industries, R&D sections. There also they will have this EHS departments. You can also get into food, because you know there is health in this particular concept, and definitely food specialist or food inspector, that area also you can get into. Not only that, there are a lot of environmental consultancies also who are working in this field of EHS. So they'll be having this work of environmental impact assessment, which will be done on a regular basis for any big projects to come up. So there is a lot of scope even in this environmental consultancies, and here even the girls can work, and definitely the government sector. So there are a lot of government sector opportunities like municipal corporation and various other places where EHS or HSE comes into picture. Definitely you have to get your basics right. You have to have the passion for that. Then only you have to go into this field, not just because your friend or someone else is going, you will also end up. So that is not going to help you. You should have the passion for it, then only you enter into this field. And not only BE Biotechnology students, even BSc, MSc, M-Pharma, B-Pharma, even they can get into this field. But you may have to do a further course. BE may not be sufficient. You may have to do a MTech course, and MTech will be in environmental engineering. So if you do a BE Biotechnology, you may have to do a MTech in environmental engineering, and you can do a small diploma course as I told you, and then get into this field. So when it comes to India, I told you, you can do the diploma courses. Apart from that, you can have certain additional courses which are beneficial for you, like certification courses. There is ISO 45001, that is the lead auditors course, ISO 14001 environmental management course. So these courses, when you are doing, we should be very careful. You have to do it from the approved institutions. They are IRCA-CQI approved institutions. So from these approved agencies only, you see to it that you get this course done. So that can be the added benefit for you. Not only that, if you have additional knowledge on programming side like artificial intelligence, machine learning, Internet of Things, programming, cloud computing, remote sensing, GIS, SQL, DBMS, even that can help you. Because when you're thinking about the processing, you're trying to automate various things, this computer knowledge may help you further. And definitely there's a lot of opportunity, and even the job prospects and the growth is very good in this industry. So I have my friends who are working, and that is how I could make this slide for you. So if you work in this field for 8 to 10 years with good experience, then definitely you can even earn a package of 20 to 30 lakhs per annum. But that depends on your caliber. You should have that potential, only then you can earn this much. Otherwise you may end up with even 8 to 10 lakhs per annum. So if you want to start with, you want to improve your knowledge on this field, you can have even the Udemy courses which are there. So some of the Udemy courses have just put it here. There are more courses, but this is just to make you aware that related courses of HSE are there in Udemy. It's just for 455 rupees. You can afford it and you can improve your knowledge. So this is the NEBOSH website. You can just check this out. So this is very good if you're planning to work in the Europe or Middle East. And there this will be very, very useful for you. So they have a lot of certification courses, diploma courses, master courses. So whichever you're interested in and which is required for your particular job profile, you can work on it. So as I told you, just BE Biotechnology may not be sufficient for you to enter into this field. So if you are planning to enter into this field, you might require a MTech in environmental engineering. So I put a list of good engineering, top 10 or top 15 kind of engineering colleges in India. Okay, this is as per 2021. So these are few of them. So if you have that course even in Manipal, MIT has it, you have it in SRM University, Chennai, and various other places. So this list I've just made you to for your benefit, so that you can try to get into these universities for your MTech program if you're interested in higher studies to get into this field. And most of these may have an entrance exam of their own. Some universities have their own entrance exam, like MIT, SRM, they have their own entrance exam. But you can even have GATE. Through GATE also you can get into. But when it comes to MIT or SRM, you have to write their entrance exam also. And not only biotechnology students, there's a lot of scope for this particular field for mechanical, civil and electrical engineering students. But they also may have to do a course on the diploma course, as I told you, or on HSC, after which they can get into this field. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting me. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe to my channel, and please share this video with maximum people so that if anybody wants to get into this field of EHS, it might be helpful for them. Thank you.